Hail friends, Senkine here, and I just wanted to go over some basic tips for getting an easy chunk of MGP in Final Fantasy XIV per week, and some chunks that you can take home that a lot of players don't know about or they ask about in the Novice Network. Before you do a lot of the following, consider picking up some of these MGP tickets. You can earn 10 of them weekly from your squadron missions. They give you 15% bonus to all the MGP that you earn, and alternatively, you can your FC may have a buff available that gives you 10%, but they do not stack. Okay, so let's start with one of the most well-known, but not the best chunk of MGP that you can get weekly, which is the Fashion Report. On Fridays, and running for a few days during the weekend, you can show whatever clothing that Masked Rose wants to see, and if you get between 80 and 100 points, you will get a chunk of 60,000 MGP, and if you use that certificate I mentioned, it'll be boosted to 69,000. You can either play this game straight, or you can just Google it every week, because everyone figures it out like right away the moment the event opens, the super sleuths. The first time that you get 100 points, you'll get like an achievement, and you'll get a title. But if you just want to get the MGP per week, you only need to get 80 points. So there's an easy 80 that you can get, usually with a lot less clothing. So just shoot for that if you already have the achievement. So for this next tip, I need to mention the challenge log, because a lot of the following tips are just going to ride off the common missed challenge log entries. This one's my favorite minigame to play, to get the challenge log weekly, because it's really fast and it's very easy. If you play enough matches here on this to win 100 MGP, then you'll get both of the challenge log entries, and you'll get a good chunk of MGP there. And for the challenge log stuff, the certificate does not help boost that. Definitely don't forget to play MiniCactpot every day. You can play 3 times. There's an achievement and a title that you can get from it down the line, but it's also a nice amount of MGP when you win. The easy way to explain this game is to try to shoot for a 1-2-3 or a 9-8-7, but a 9-8-6 isn't too bad either. Everything else is peanuts. You can use either the Y method that a lot of people use, or you can just use your best judgment to get those numbers that I mentioned. Speaking of getting high on Cactpot, you can play the JumboCactpot 3 times weekly. Personally, to save your sanity, you should roll random numbers and then never look at the winning number. And really, the only other tip that I have is that if you decide to film a video for YouTube, it magically increases your chance to getting the 1 in 100 prize, I guess. Every 2 weeks, you should definitely sign up for the bi-weekly card tournament. A lot of folks think that this has to be played against players, but that is not true. Not only is there a huge chunk of MGP that you can get just for doing this, you have a shot at winning one of the 4 platinum protagonist cards that can only be won in tournaments. So there's an NPC that I'm going to show you right now here that is really great for how easy he is to beat for how many points you get. So Prideful Stag. If you win enough games to get over 1,600 points, you'll get 3 platinum cards, which could be one of those protagonist cards, the next Tuesday. In addition, you'll get huge amounts of MGP as well. The amount that you get depends on where you land on the board, but even if you don't make it on the board, it's quite a bit. Or you could play actual players if you want to get a lot more points, or if you're just shooting for a very specific tournament card. I do recommend going for the NPC guy like I am here early on, just so that you can roll for some of the cards before you start aiming for specific ones. So I'll show you the reward. Alright, as you can see here, using the certificate, and we're going to turn in and see what we get. So it looks like I'm on the board, and it's 1680, which is the max that you get from Prideful Stag. That usually gets you on the board most of the time. That's 33.9 for the MGP, and you also get those platinum cards. And if you're on the board, you get another like bonus card, like this, the bronze card. So let's open the cards up. Nothing, 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 nothing. Now for one of our huge payouts that you can get every 8 days. For Minion. I know, nobody plays it, and that's why you're going to be a superstar with the MGP. If the board's glowing, that means that the tournament's on. It runs 4 days on, 4 days off. So what you're going to do is you sign up for this tournament, and you're going to use the Master Tournament option and play 5 games against the computer that are very easy. That completes 2 things at the same time. The challenge log for 5 matches, which is a huge payout as well. And if you want a video guide on like a quick strategy of how to win without needing to learn how to play the game, just look at my Penguin Prince video. So this is now you're looking at the hand and date, and this is the prize that you get once you I placed because I played 6 matches, and yeah, you get quite a bit of chunk of change for that. Okay, here's the most important thing in this guide. You're going to notice these 15 challenge races for Chocobo Racing. These here, basically if you haven't done Chocobo Racing or worked toward making your perfect Chocobo, this here is the most MGP that is waiting for you in the game. Your end goal is to take on those 15 races, and they will give you a lump sum of 445,000 MGP for the first time clear. And if you're really clever, you can wait until the next Make It Rain campaign. The bonus works toward those challenge races. It's a one-time bonus. It's important to note that all that stuff that I've said up to this point, like the challenge logs and all the different ways you can get MGP throughout the week, if you have nothing left to do, like weekly or daily, and you just want to get MGP, the best source of MGP is now grinding Chocobo Races. If you have a perfect Chocobo, it's going to be around 450 MGP per minute running just races on Sagali Road. And if you mix in doing like gates at 20 minutes past the hour, 40 minutes past the hour, and every hour, that's your best form of grinding. One final optional thing, if you have nothing else to spend your Wondrous Tales rewards on, you can get these lump MGP coupons. It might be a while before that's worth doing for most players though. Thank you for watching. I hope this may have been helpful to you, and I hope to make more of these short guides. Rock on!